Hello and welcome back to the Hangry German. Has it been a week already? This week I'm going to show you my recipe for a butternut squash soup. Sometimes simplicity is key, which is why I'm keeping this recipe extremely simple. For this recipe, all you're going to need is 1 squash, 1 pound of baby carrots, 2 tablespoons of butter, about 2 cups of whole milk, and last but not least, some seasonings. A bit of basil, nutmeg and garlic. The first step of this recipe is take your baby carrots and cut them in half. This will cut the cooking time in half as well. And then I'm going to toss the cut ones into the pot. To cut your squash, you take a knife and start cutting off the top. Next, you turn it around and cut off the bottom. This one is not really cooperative. Then, what I always like to do is cut them into 3 to 4 even-sized pieces. Sometimes stupid things happen. Now, we're going to start and cut off the skin. That helps you work out your arms a lot. Now it's time to take your bottom third and cut it in half, because every squash and every pumpkin has some seeds with it. The best tool to use to get all this nasty stuff out is to use your spoon. Now that it's nicely peeled and cleaned out and every nasty thing has gotten away, we're going to cut it into nice little cubes. And they should be between 1.5 and 2 inches in diameter. And we take those and put them to the carrots into our pot. And that was the last of it. And that actually was the hardest part of all. Only cutting the stuff. What we're going to do now is add some water and put it on the stove and cook it for 15 to 20 minutes. And add a little bit of salt, and if you know me, it's half a handful for me. Alright, now it's time to turn off the heat and strain the squash and the carrots from the water. Now we're taking the cooked squash and the cooked carrots and pour them into the blender. And when you do that, make sure that it's not full to the top. Just do like 2/3, because you need some space for it to move and wiggle around. Next, we're going to add some milk to it. And the most important thing is, don't forget your lid. Otherwise you have to renovate. Hooray. Alright, now let's give it a little check. Now that it's like this consistency, we pour it back into our pot. Now we're going to repeat the same steps with the remainder of the squash and the carrots. Now to the second to last, but most important step of all, the seasoning. I always like to put in a little bit of butter and a little flavor mix. First, we're going to add in our seasoning mix and our butter. And while it is in, we turn back on the heat, but this time we are turning it on a low. We don't want to have it cooked too much, because then it starts burning. We just want to heat it up a little bit. We're cooking it for a few minutes just to reheat it a little bit and stir in and mix in our butter and our seasoning. Alrighty. Now there's just one step left, and that's the most crucial one. Plating. See how easy it was? Now all that's left to do is dig in and enjoy. And thanks for tuning in. See you next week. And don't forget to hit like, subscribe and share. That is some yummy stuff.